interference. There was a third party hacking my line. I think I got rid of them. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do a show. We're going to try. But I hope you guys will come back and watch. It looks like everybody left. So we may cancel the show. But, oh, I see there's Kim Osborne is still with us and Queen Cola Bobs. Anyways, I am being harassed by the United States government. And they're the ones doing this. So we're not going to give them any airtime. So screw that. Anyways, welcome to today's show. I'm so sorry for the problems. Hopefully we'll be able to get this broadcast out. And I'm just glad you guys are here with me. So welcome to Wiccan Wednesday. For those of you who are new here, my name is Psychic Bob, also known as Lord Ision. Lord Ision is my Wiccan title. And, so I am also a Wiccan Lord. Anyways, I'm just glad you guys are here today, and I hope that this broadcast will go somewhere and get out somewhere if we're lucky. Anyway, so can you guys hear me okay out there? I need some feedback because I don't know if I'm broadcasting. I'm still getting that I'm not broadcasting and that I have no sound. So if you guys could give me some feedback right now and say we can hear you, we can see you, because I don't have any signal here. Okay, Queen Colaba says, yes, I can see and hear. Yes. Okay, hey, Valerie Serrano, good to see you. Welcome. Pardon me, my voice is going this morning. I've been under so much stress, it's crazy. Anyways, today, I'm saying I can't hold on my earbuds. We're going to have a challenging day. It's just how it's going to be, okay? My hair is flying everywhere and my earbuds won't stay in. But many of you that tune into our Wednesday show, by the way, I should probably announce this. We're going to try to do live shows every morning at 10 a.m. Yes, Raven Fisher, I have been directly attacked savagely. But I can't talk about that. YouTube will censor me. So just know that I have been injured physically this morning, but I'm okay. So thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much. She's asking me she wants to give me condolences for my mom. Thank you so much, Valerie. It's very kind of you. So anyways, despite all the insanity of the world, and the world's getting really insane, Lord Ision is determined to be here with you guys on Wiccan Wednesday. And where else would I be? Huh? How do you like my witch hat, by the way? Isn't that cool? It's my purple witch hat. Check that out. We be styling. I got to get my hair cut. It's driving me crazy. Thank you for your prayers, Kim. God bless you. Thank you, Miss Lisa. We're staying strong. If Psychic Bob doesn't broadcast, they win. And I'm not letting them win. So I'm here no matter what. So I'm just glad you guys are here. Well, we're going to talk about a mystical, magical symbol today. And many of you who are Wiccan or pagan, you're familiar with the silver pentagram or the pentagram. It can be in silver or gold, but here's one of my pentacle pendants. And we'll do another video probably next week more on the pentacle. But I've been getting a number of letters from people who are new to the Wiccan faith. And they're saying to me, Lord Ision, I've become a Wiccan, but I still wear a cross pendant because my great-grandmother gave me this cross and I love it and it means a lot to me. Can I, as a Wiccan, still wear the cross? And my answer to that is absolutely yes. Now, there'll be some Wiccans who will tell you can't wear a cross. Don't listen to them. Wicca is not a religion that has hierarchy and rules and structure. Well, no, let me correct that. In covens, there are hierarchies, rules, and structures. As a solitary, you can do whatever you want. And actually, even in most covens, the high priestess is not going to tell you what you can and can't wear. So if you like wearing crosses, wear crosses. Now, what's interesting about the cross, hi Volcanic Ice, good to see you. Miss Lisa says, oh, hold on a second guys, I can't see the chat here. Miss Lisa says, I gave my crosses away. Well, you know, Miss Lisa, I have to tell you, hey Sarah Magia. So Miss Lisa, you know, when I first became a Wiccan, you know, I had such negative experiences with the Christian church. And I'm not knocking on anybody who's Christian here. I'm just saying in my own experience, that I wanted to totally step away from the Christian church. And I stopped wearing crosses for a lot of years. And I only wore pentacles and pagan signs. But along the way, as I matured in my path, I realized that the symbol of the cross is actually much more deeply implanted, at least in my soul, than I cared to admit. And as I started reading Wiccan books, I discovered that the cross actually existed in pagan cultures. That's right. Now, most Wiccan groups will tell you, well, of course there's the cross, there's the Ankh of ancient Egypt. In fact, I didn't bring my Ankh here today, but we'll do a whole video on the Ankh. The Ankh is a looped cross. That's one of the most ancient cross symbols. But even the traditional cross, like we think of, you know, in this form, existed in the pagan world. And we're going to show some of my crosses here and talk about the meanings of each of them. Yes, Queen Kolobob says Egyptian, isn't it? Yeah, the Ankh is an Egyptian type of cross. But in the ancient pagan cultures, the cross was used. And when I discovered that, you know, I started to re-look at my crosses and think, well, do I still like the cross? And honestly, even though I was angry at the Christian church for a lot of stuff they did, I still thought the cross had meaning. Now, in traditional Christianity, the symbol of the cross represents the death and sacrifice and resurrection of Jesus. I can still see it that way because when I started to study Wicca, I thought, somebody who was Wiccan told me, said, well, isn't Jesus a master witch? And if you actually study the life of Jesus, he's actually very magical. He took clay and rubbed it on somebody's eyes and healed their blindness. That sounds like some earth magic to me. And then, you know, throughout his life, he made food appear and wine and water. And Jesus was a magical person. So aside from the Christian church's hype of condemnation of everybody that's not Christian, just look at Jesus as a magical person. And so his symbol of the cross is also a magical experience. He died and resurrected. Whether you believe, if you believe that, I actually believe Jesus resurrected. I think there's a lot of evidence. That's magical to me. So, you know, there have always been on earth amazing spiritual beings who have brought us knowledge and power and light. And I put Jesus as one of those people. Okay, am I still broadcasting, guys? Nicola just said I'm not broadcasting. It says I'm live now, actually, so I'm getting a broadcast signal. Okay, so thank you, guys. Keep me posted. I'm trying to watch. But the thing is, for some of you, I know that you have been through horrific experiences, and for you, the cross represents maybe a past or an experience that you don't want to be with. And I can understand that. I can respect that. But maybe, and I just put this out there to propose to you, maybe at some point you could look at the cross in a new light, like I did. So I actually have been collecting crosses for years since I let go of my anger towards that symbol. And I thought today I would show you some ideas to think about when working with the magical cross. So first of all, let me talk to you about the cross from two perspectives. One is from the spiritualist perspective. As many of you know, I used to be a spiritualist before I was a Wiccan. And in the spiritualist church, there are some members who consider themselves Christian spiritualists. And so it's not uncommon to go to a spiritualist church and see a picture of Jesus and see a cross. The spiritualists will tell you that Jesus was a master medium, which I think he was as well, and they talk about his magical and mystical experiences. Kim Osborne says, I use the cross to represent Jesus, and that is totally fine. One of the things that Scott Cunningham, oops, I don't have my book here. Scott Cunningham in his book, hold on, I want to get this because this is important for you to understand. Hold on just a sec. I'll be with you guys in just one sec. Well, guys, I'm sorry, I can't find the book. It's missing. Strangely, it was here on my table and it's gone. I hope you guys can hear me. Well, anyways, I'm going to just paraphrase Scott Cunningham, okay? And one of the things that Scott Cunningham says in his book, Wicca, A Guide for the Solitary, is he says that when you join Wicca, you open yourself up to new beginnings and new experiences with deity, with divinity. And he says, but becoming a Wiccan doesn't mean you have to turn your back on your old deities. So if you're somebody who used to connect to Jesus, all right, you can still call on Jesus in your circle. I know some Wiccans say you can't, but you can. Cola, are we having tech problems? You said something about sound piled up. I don't know if I'm getting a clear broadcast. Anyways, if I'm not getting a clear broadcast, guys, let me know. Nicole, I don't understand what you're talking about. So what Scott Cunningham is basically saying is Wicca doesn't make you renounce where you've come from. Doesn't make you denounce anything. So keep that in mind as we talk about the cross today. Because I know, as I said, for some of you, this is a loaded symbol that just triggers you. And I'm not trying to trigger anybody. But we have to be honest and say it is connected to the ancient pagan cultures. So let me just start with my spiritualist experience with the cross. So as a spiritualist, okay, many times I would go in the spiritualist church and they'd have a cross on the wall and picture of Jesus, which I didn't mind. I thought that was cool. For those of you who live in Britain, you may recognize that in many spiritualist churches, they have a blue cross. Blue is the color of spiritualism in the United Kingdom. And so on the front of churches, many times in spiritual circles, they'll put a blue cross up. And you don't see it as much these days because they've kind of switched the symbol to be the rising sun, especially in the Spiritualist National Union. But there are still many churches across the UK that are spiritualists that will have the blue sun up, okay? And so I always like the blue cross. And so when I'm going to a spiritualist gathering, many times I'll wear a blue cross. And I thought I'd show you some of my spiritualist blue crosses here. Okay. So here is, this is actually carved stone. It's cat's eye. I hope you guys can see that. That's one of my favorite blue crosses. And a lot of times I'll wear that, you know. Vivian P says, why is the cross, oops, hold on, my screen's freezing. Vivian says, why is the cross following me? I've noticed Christianity is dominating over my life, yet I cling to my pagan ways. Anyone notice crosses in your life all of a sudden? Well, remember, and this is what we're going to talk about today, Vivian, that it doesn't have to be Christianity dominating your life, that you can see the cross in a new light. We're going to talk about that. But I wanted to show you some of my spiritualist church crosses. So there's one of my blue ones, and I showed you that. I have other size, one little small one made of metal. Okay. And then I have one that's beautiful. It's made of blue stained glass. Check that out. Isn't that pretty? So as I said, as a spiritualist, I still wear the blue cross because I just like it. And it works for me. I've for so long associated it with spiritualism that, to me, it's just kind of ingrained in me. Okay. So now, when we talk about the symbol of the cross, okay, there's an unlimited number of crosses, but I'm going to break it down to kind of two main categories. There's the plain cross, the unornamented cross. All right. Here's a cross I want to show you. It's a silver cross. This was my mom's cross, and when she passed, I got this cross. I just got this recently, and this was part of her jewelry collection. In the United States and in the United Kingdom, the plain cross is very much seen because both countries are more Protestant. The Protestant faiths tend to use the plain cross, but the pagan faiths also use the plain cross. The plain cross in the magical traditions can be seen as the intersection of the spirit world and the earth world. It can also be seen as the four cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. It can also be seen as the four seasons, spring, summer, winter, and fall, or the two solstices and two equinoxes. Summer solstice, winter solstice, then the vernal equinox and the autumnal equinox. So if you're a pagan, you can see the cross as representing the cycle of the seasons, the cardinal directions, north, south, east, west, and the intersection of divinity and earth life. So I'd like to just put that out there for you to think about, because I think that, when you look at the cross in that light, it really makes sense how that could be that way, Thank you, Christine C. Yes, this did belong to my mom. I've lost my silver chain somehow, and I've got to find it. It's got moved somewhere, but I had it on chain. I've been changing. Oh, it's this chain. Well, I have another chain that goes specifically with this cross that I got to find. But so this is one of the plain crosses. Okay. Now, just because a cross is plain doesn't mean you can't get kind of fancy on it, And let me show you some of my elaborate plain crosses, okay? Here's one of my favorites. This is set in sterling silver, and it's jeweled. How do you like that one? Isn't that beautiful? It's set in silver set stones. Okay, a beautiful cross, all right? Sparkles. The cross is believed in magical traditions as well as in Christian traditions to represent light. It dispels darkness, you see? And so when you wear the cross, it releases an energy that deflects evil. Evil, whether it's pagan evil or Christian evil, evil is evil, and this sign dispels it. It is the power of life. When we talk about from the pagan perspective, all right, it's the cardinal points of power. What do? When we cast a circle, we call the quarters, right? And that erects the circle and the power. This is kind of like a miniature circle that you wear. So that's one way to think about it, okay? So Kim Osborne says, I don't have any jewelry. I wear hematite, and I had hematite cross. It helps pull negative energy out of me. That's true. I don't have a hematite cross, but I need to get one, So this cross, one of my favorite crosses. Queen Colabob's has one just like this, but hers is set in gold. Mine's set in silver, hers is in gold. But We got the crosses. Now another little plain cross. This is another little joker, a little tiny one that I have, similar to the other one. Again, symbols of light. There's the other one. There's the little one. That one's a little smaller. Simple and unornamented. Sometimes it's the best. Now, you can also have your plain crosses really made out of any substance. This one is made of opalite, which is an imitation man-made opal stone. This is a beautiful cross. It's hard to see in this light, but it really kind of changes color. This is one of my simple opalite crosses, and I just love it, you see. So again, you can be as elaborate or as simple as you want. Here's one of my other plain crosses. This one is made of aluminum. It's anodized aluminum, black dyed aluminum with diamond cutting. Isn't that beautiful? You guys can see that. You see? Simple little jewelry pieces. But don't let their simple size belie their power, because even the smallest of cross, if carried with the right intention. And see, this is what I want you guys to try to think about today, is that if you bring a new intent to your symbol, it will be re-empowered. So if in the past you have a negative association, why don't you get a different cross you have no associations with and reconsecrate it? Offer it to the gods or whatever gods you worship. Ask it to be infused with power and see if it brings you blessing and peace. Here's my more famous pieces of jewelry. Some of you know the story behind this cross. This cross belonged to the world-famous psychic Jean Dixon. Some of you may know her. She was a big psychic in the 60s and 70s and 80s. She's since passed, but Jean Dixon lived literally about 10 minutes away from me. And I went to her estate auction and I bought out some of her personal jewelry. And this was one of Jean Dixon's crosses. Now, she had a whole collection. I don't know if she ever wore this one, but it was in her jewelry case. This is the Aquarius astrology cross, you know. Oops, hold on a second. Somebody just asked a good question. Hold on. Christine C. said, "Is this bad? I use my silver cross as a pendulum. It works fantastic." No. Remember, the cross doesn't just have to be worn. It's a tool. It can be a tool of magic. You know, you could, for example, put a cross on your altar and use it in spells. You could use it as a pendulum. You could wear it. You could put it on the wall. So don't let yourself feel limited, or, because I think a lot of us have carryovers from if we grew up in a Christian background of viewing it that it's so sacred, it can't be touched. And in Wicca, we don't say that. We don't say that things are sacrosanct, that they can't be touched. We look at the material things as tools to help us on our journey. So if the cross helps you on your journey, that's all for the good. You see what I'm saying? So this cross, though, as I said, it changes color depending on, it's an Aquarius. There's an Aquarius guy pouring water. And this was one of Jean Dixon's personal pieces of jewelry in her jewelry collection. Back in the 1970s, astrology was really big, and mood rings. This is a mood cross. It changes color. You can even see it's changing color now as I hold it. And so this is a lovely cross and a classic piece. Okay. Now, speaking of some other crosses, I have some jeweled crosses as well. They're plain crosses, but they're rather jeweled. And as I said, with your cross, you can get as elaborate as you want. Here's one of my other crosses done in white gold with the ruby and diamonds. Isn't that beautiful? I love this cross so much I couldn't not have a gold verse. So I've got a gold and a white gold, yellow gold, and here's my yellow gold, and there's my white gold. I know, PsychicBob's a little excessive, aren't I? Hold on, I can't see the chat. You guys are saying something here. Thank you, Violin Viola Masterclass. Amber says, lovely. Jackie H says, So to program a cross for protection, I just state my intention. Yes, well, I would say to prepare a cross, you want to probably purify it, because if it's an old cross that may have a lot of energy around, pass it through frankincense incense or any sacred incense to you, and then pray over it. You can anoint it with holy water if you have that, pass it through incense, and then dedicate it to God or your intention. Say, I invoke the powers of the cosmos. I invoke the elemental powers, north, south, east, and west. You know, earth, air, fire, water. I invoke you to consecrate my cross. You see, if you have particular deities that you work with, whether Jesus or Hecate or, Isis or Kalima, call on them. Ask them to infuse your cross as well. This is the thing that in Wicca, we're not really structured and stratified and locked in. You can do it how you want it. But what's important is that you understand the process of why you're doing it. So if you're sprinkling holy water on it, know what that means. That's your way of purification. If you're using incense, maybe that's your way of purification. Invoke from your heart and ask that your cross, your sacred item, be dedicated to the highest good and for your blessing and protection. And it will be. The universe will hear that prayer, okay? So, anyways, now also, I have a love for Russian crosses. I think I must have had a past life in Russia. And let me show you some of my Russian crosses here. These also count as plain crosses, Here's a beautiful silver one with blue enamel inlaid. Isn't that lovely? The Russian crosses are interesting. They usually have prayers carved on the back. And I can't read Russian, but as I did some translations, usually they'll say like, this cross, may this cross save you, is like one of the prayers, or Christ is your salvation, or God is with us. There's usually a prayer engraved, as you can see on the back of the Russian cross in Russian. But the Russian crosses get very ornate, and they're very beautiful. So that's another thing. If you're interested in crosses, explore Russian crosses. Here's another silver Russian cross I have as well, which is just beautiful. They tend to be more ornate, you see. Queen Kolobob says, my Russian royal ancestors had beautiful crosses. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Ruskiville Johns here says, you are right. The cross used in Celtic magic, the Celtic cross, any cross looks similar to rune notiz. That means banishing evil, harmful, negative forces. The cross is a power of the four elements. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. And you know what? I left my Celtic cross. I got to go find it. It's stored in another place. I do have a Celtic cross as well, and that's a whole nother, we'd have to do a whole video just on the Celtic cross. But yes, the Celtic cross is the cross that has a circle around it, you see. Now, there's another cross I want to show you. As I said, crosses can come in all shapes and sizes. Here is what is called a Gothic cross. It's made of fleur-de-lis and it has a heart in it. I think this is a beautiful cross as well. So, you can get Gothic with your crosses and mystical. You like that? So that's my Gothic cross. I also have another kind of somewhat Gothic looking cross here as well, which has a beautiful inset with gems. I just love gemstones. I love sparkly things. I have a lot of crosses that have jewels in them, So, now, also if you want a kind of a cross that's different, you might want to do research on Ethiopian crosses. I have a number of friends from Ethiopia, and I used to see them wearing these crosses. I said, what is that beautiful pendant? They said, it's Ethiopian cross. So here are some of my crosses from Ethiopia. I actually had these brought over as gifts from my friends. And they're made of brass. Some are like silver-coated brass or white brass. This is yellow brass. This is white brass. But these are handmade. They hand-carved these in metal in Ethiopia. And so this is a wonderful, see if you can see it, type cross you could wear as well. You see? So when we think of the cross, step outside of your limited view, because probably I would say most of us in the United States, when we say cross, This is the only type of cross we think of. And for some of us, that plain cross is like representing churches we don't want to be part of, or people that have traumatized us. So I encourage you, take your concept of the cross, take it to a whole new level. All right? Like, I think these Ethiopian crosses are simply spectacular. Look at the beautiful work on them. That's a whole different type of cross, isn't it? You see? So you're not limited, really. Okay. Here's one of my other blue spiritualist crosses. This one has evil eyes on it. Why don't you combine the magic of the eye with the cross? You could look up evil eye cross and find crosses like these. You see the eyes of protection. So you take the cross, rediscover it, see if you can find a meaning that gives you meaning. You can wear crosses. And honestly, to tell you the truth, sometimes it's simply easier to wear a cross than a pinnacle. Now, I love wearing pinnacles, and I'm one of these people, I'm very outspoken about my Wiccan faith. But there are times where you have to go to an event where there are going to be people so irate that if you wear a pinnacle, it's just going to be more drama than you really want to deal with. Like, I know some people have written to me here at YouTube, and they said my family would disown me if I wore a pinnacle to our family picnic. So, at your family reunion, just put on a cross, make everybody happy. But you know that your cross is a magical symbol, you see? And so, again, it comes back to what is your intent, Now, there is another type of cross. Oh, by the way, here, let me show you this. This is my red cross. Okay. Isn't that cool? You can get crosses all colors, and I like sometimes to wear neon crosses. They just look really dramatic. So you could have red cross, green cross, blue cross. In fact, I have a glow-in-the-dark cross even. Check this out. Isn't that cool? That glows in the dark. That's from Ethiopia as well. It was given to me by an Ethiopian friend. In Ethiopia, they love the cross. They have it everywhere, Wonderful. Okay. Volcanic Ice says, Bob will be trying to, oops, hold on, I can't say it. Well, trying to go swappies on the stash of jewelry with you, Cola. Cola likes crosses too, so she and I probably have a little exchange of jewelry. Now, for those of you who come from a Roman Catholic background, and still feel a connection to Jesus and love Jesus, which I don't have a problem with Wiccans who love Jesus. I know some Wiccans will say, well, you can't do that. Listen, don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do, because the truth of the matter is that the witches of the old days, they, were half and half, really. When the pagans had the Christian incursion, there were a lot of Wiccans who would go to Mass on Sunday just because, oh, that's the new religion and we like it. And then, Monday night they'd celebrate the full moon, And so I think that particularly in our Western culture, that because many of us grew up a Christian, it's like Scott Cunningham said, we don't have to denounce where we come from, Let it be at peace. If people say, what's your religion? I'll definitely say I'm a Wiccan, But I could equally say I'm a spiritualist. And people say, well, do you believe in Jesus? Well, yeah, I guess I do. I believe he was real. I believe he did all the stuff they say. I think he's a magical being. So, if you don't believe that, that's okay, because as I said, you can find in the cross pagan meanings that have no connection to Christianity. Here's one of my other Russian crosses, a silver cross. So, as I was saying, the other side of the cross is that there is a crucifix. For those of you who come from a Catholic background, this is the cross that shows Jesus on it. All right, so here's one of my Catholic crucifix pendants. All right, now I know some people say, well, that's morbid. I don't want to see Jesus on the cross. I hate that. A lot of people don't like the crucifix, at least in the United States. But in the Catholic countries, this is actually considered quite normal to wear. For many people who wear the crucifix, if you ask them, well, why do you wear that? It's so ghastly. They'll tell you, look at how much Jesus loves me. He gave his entire life for me. In the Christian faith, they'll say Jesus sacrificed his life as an offering for all of us, that he demonstrated love. One of Jesus's teachings is that, no man, Jesus, I'm going to quote the Bible. If I get it wrong, bear with me. But he basically said, no man has greater love than that he lay down his life for his friends. And so Jesus was saying, if you give of yourself, even unto death, you'll be blessed. And so for many people, seeing Jesus on the cross makes them feel close to him because they feel, look how loving Jesus, he's with me even in his suffering. And when we go through times of suffering, isn't it nice to know we don't suffer alone? So I don't have a problem with crucifixes because for me, it's like, if that's true and Jesus loves everybody enough to give up his life, he was an innocent man and crucified. What type of love is that, to give everything? And when I go through suffering, I look and I think, somebody else on earth suffered too. They had hard times. So the cross, the crucifix, can be a reminder that you're not alone in your suffering. Okay? So something to think about. All right? I'm not saying you have to accept this or believe it, but I'm putting it out there for those of you who might want to look at it in a new way. Okay? Now, hold on, let me just show you some of my Catholic crucifixes. I have some really elaborate ones. Here's one of my larger ones. I have to put a new jump ring on it. But this one's done in silver and enamel. Isn't that beautiful? And here's another cross that I have. Look at that. This cross is called the Pardon Cross because it has symbols and prayers all around it to ask for God's help and to be pardoned for your sins if you believe in praying to God for forgiveness of sins. That's what this helps you do. And to be aligned and united with God. It's a beautiful cross, crucifix. I also have a Russian crucifix here. This is a small little silver Russian crucifix. You see? So, like I said, we're really unlimited in our power and connection to crosses. Now, one of my other favorite magical crosses. Oops, hold on, I just saw a question here. Vivian P says, Bob, can you go over in a video if you don't already have one? Phases of the moon. Yeah, waning wax. Well, yeah, we'll do that soon, okay, Vivian? I don't think I've actually done a video on that, but that's a good topic, okay? So, yeah, we'll do that. One of my favorite magical crosses is called the Cross of Caravaca. And I have a number of those. This is one of my large Caravaca crosses. And the Caravaca cross, I'm going to tell you the story of this cross. It comes from the times of the Knights Templar, and it was a cross that was in Spain. Okay, so during the Middle Ages, Spain was invaded by the Muslims. The Muslims tried to conquer Spain, and there was a big war between the Knights Templar, the Catholic Church, and the Muslim religion. And there was a town called Caravaca where the Muslims took control, and they arrested all the priests. They closed down the churches, and they were going to execute a number of people. Well, the priest asked for his last wish that he could do mass. And so the Sultan who took to town was going to execute all the priests said, okay, well, we'll let you do a mass. So the Sultan got him all the mass supplies and everything, and he was at the church. And the church in Caravaca. And as he got ready to do the mass, he realized that it's tradition to have a cross on the altar, which is actually true. If those of you are Catholic know, you always have a cross somewhere on the altar. Well, the priest told the Sultan, he said, I don't have a cross. I can't do a mass till I have a cross. And the Sultan said, well, tough. You do the mass or we're going to kill you now. So the priest was in his conscience thought, I can't break canon law. I can't break the rule of the church. And he prayed. He said, God, what do you want me to do? I don't have a cross. I feel like I'm not doing the mass properly. Well, while he was praying, up at the window at the church appeared two angels. And the angels were holding a cross. It wasn't just any cross, it was a double-barred cross like this one. And the angels, as you can see here, holding the cross, floated across the church and placed the cross on the altar. And the cross that appeared on the altar was one that had been kept at a different church in town. And the cross was actually a relic cross that had a piece of the true cross of Jesus embedded in the inside the relic part. It was like a reliquary, like it held a relic in it. Well, all of the Muslim, the Sultan, the king of the Muslims, and all the Muslims there, and everybody in the church who was at the Mass, witnessed this cross float being carried by angels and land on the altar. Well, guess what happened? The Sultan felt that this was truly a sign from God. He released all the priests. He didn't execute anybody in the town. He didn't make the Christians renounce their faith. And he himself joined the Catholic Church. And so in Caravaca in Spain, it's a town in southern Spain, you can still go to the church at Caravaca where this occurred, and they still have this cross there. And it's believed to be a magical cross. And anytime you even just see this cross, you get a blessing. So all of you today, just by seeing this cross, are getting a blessing. Okay? Many people wear the cross of Caravaca or put it on their wall as a sign of blessing and protection. I also my nickname is the Angelic Cross, because it's the only cross that has angels on it. And so the Caravaca cross has angels placed on each side of it to represent the miracle. Okay? Now, it's a two-armed cross because the cross originally came from the East. It was a patriarchal cross, I think from Jerusalem. And in the Eastern Church, a lot of times the patriarchs, the bishops, wear double-armed crosses as a sign of their office. So that's why it has two arms. Now, let me show you some of my crosses of Caravaca. This is one that I'm wearing today. This is one in sterling silver, one of my favorite crosses. As the larger, it's kind of hard to see because it's small, but you can see it has the two arms and the angels, and it's got Jesus, and it's done in sterling silver. So today I'm wearing this. You should know that the Caravaca cross is oftentimes used in the voodoo traditions. It's used in rituals and magic. And so I think even as a Wiccan, you can call upon it for protection and blessing and use it. There are entire books on the magic of this cross if you research it. So that's one of my Caravaca crosses. Let me show you some of my other Caravacas. Here's one of my other little ones. It's a little gold one. It's got little jewels set in it. Isn't that pretty? That's a Caravaca cross. I also have another little pendant in gold. That's a smaller version. And let's see, I think I have a silver one here somewhere. Yeah, here's my antique silver one. There's another one in silver. I'm a big believer in the Caravaca cross because I've had a lot of times in my life where danger has crossed my path. And when I'm wearing this, it just walks away. You know, I had a gang try to jump me a few years ago. I was at a subway station at night at a metro. In DC, we have a subway station. And a gang tried to literally rob me and attack me. And I held up my cross just like this as they were trying to rob me. And one of the gang leaders goes, "Oh, don't mess with him. Don't mess with him." And they walked away. Simply because I held up my Caravaca cross. I'm a believer in it. Does that mean I'm not a Wiccan or I've betrayed the Wiccan faith? Some Wiccans have accused me of being a betrayer because I like the cross. I think the cross is a powerful magical tool. It doesn't make me any less of a Wiccan. It doesn't betray the faith. If you're thinking in terms of betraying the faith, you're missing the point, you know. So I want to put that out there for you guys, you know. So I invite you to consider exploring the cross. These are just a few of them that I have. I could talk for hours on the cross, but I thought today this would give you some insight. Thank you, Amber. Amber says, "Wow, that was an amazing story. Thank you for sharing the history. Emma Linda 1101 says, it was given to a friend of mine leaving the police force. It helped her from getting embroiled in some fallout from her department. So you gave a cross to somebody as well. Emma Linda says, pictures of that cross are in my home. So you love the cross of Caravaca too. Volcanic Ice says she's not a fan of the Caravaca cross. That's all right. Remember this, everybody has different tastes. So if the Caravaca doesn't appeal to you, that's all right. Choose a cross that you resonate with. Or if the cross really doesn't work for you, that's okay too. Okay? Thank you, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa says, yes, thank you. Amazing show. Love all the info, you know. So, you know, what I say is I encourage you, because like me, as I told you guys many years ago, I just felt that the cross was a negative symbol. I couldn't wear it in my life after I left the Christian church with some anger and disappointment and, you know, hurt. I didn't wear it for a long time. But I felt like once I looked at the cross anew after reading a book saying it was a pagan symbol, I said, well, let me re-explore this. And now today I openly wear crosses, and I don't really care if people like it or don't like it. Once in a while now, the other side is sometimes you'll get a fanatic Christian who will come up to you and start praying. They'll want to pray and say, oh, you're wearing the Holy Cross. Oh, let's pray to Jesus. I've had this happen. And with abs, I just say, all right, let's just pray. You know, prayer's prayer, right? I'm not going to argue and get into this big lecture. If they're crazy, I just let them ramble on. I don't fight anybody. But I hope today this is giving you some thought about the cross, and maybe will help you find a new way to look at it, if nothing else, and maybe help you, let go of any anxiety or fear. Oh, here's another cross. This is another one of my silver crosses with jewel. I have a lot of sparkly jewel crosses. I just love them. Isn't that beautiful? That's a sterling silver cross inlaid with little gemstones. So Bob loves his sparkly cross. There's my other one that I love. This one's probably my favorite, one of my favorite crosses. And this is the other little one. So there you go. So somebody's going to ask, well, does the cross have to be silver or gold? I don't really think it matters. Wear the metal that resonates with you, I love silver, so I tend to wear a lot of silver. Like today, this is a big, giant silver cross. This is all silver. Can you believe that? I got it on a clearance sale at a jewelry store. I'm so thrilled by it. It sparkles. I say, what works for you? Some days you just get up and you want to wear silver, and some days you get up and you just want to wear gold. So I'd say if you like the cross or want to wear it, try buying both types, and that way, you'll have both for whatever mood you're in. Now, just to also say, thank you, Queen Cola Bobs. Queen Cola Bobs put up a note and she said, thanks for watching. Please like and share for psychic readings. Go to PsychicBob.com for psychic development classes. That's right, $30, or call Bob at 703-825-3929. That's my phone number. So see in the chat all my info. Also, it'll be in the info box below. So anyways, I invite you to consider the cross. And I hope that this has given you a little insight today, Oh, one last thought also. If you want to tune to solar energies, wear a gold cross. If you want to tune to lunar energies, wear a silver cross. I work a lot with the moon, so I tend to wear a lot of silver, So you can wear any metal that you want, My phone number, 703-825-3929. That's my phone number. Hey, Kat, blessings from Scotland. Yay, love Scotland. Hearts to Scotland. Thank you so very much. Well, anyways, guys. Oh, hold on. Let me show you another. I got so many crosses. It's crazy. As I said, I've been buying them for years and years. Here's a tiny little Russian cross that I got. Isn't that cute? It's a little tiny cross. And here's another little tiny cross. This is actually antique, done in sterling silver with garnet. Isn't that beautiful? So as I said, be creative, have fun with it, re-examine it. Don't let the cross of the past make you hate the symbol. You know, Part of being a Wiccan is that we try to become whole again. And maybe that means letting go of some of our past angers and hurts and healing so that we can see life, in a new perspective. You see? So that's my challenge to all of you today. Try to see life in a new perspective, okay? Well, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this up today. I want to tell you thank you for being here. Tomorrow is Vlog Thursday. We're going to try to do an outside live broadcast tomorrow. I don't know if it'll work. We're going to try. We'll see how the signal strength is, but we probably will be able to do it. So we're going to try to go out walking in nature and have a little chit chat. But listen, please help me out. Like this video, favorite it, thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure to hit subscribe because we do videos 7 days a week here at Spirit Channel. And I would love to have you guys here. Make sure to visit my website, PsychicBob.com, and register for Saturday's Psychic Development class. We're going to do a class on how to communicate with angels. So if you've been wanting to work with angelic powers, be at my Saturday class, and we're going to talk about that. All right? Thank you so much. You guys are, oh, look at the lovely comments here. Michelle Marzano said, yay! Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Michelle says, thanks, Bob, for helping me see life in a new perspective. God bless you, Michelle. Thank you so very much. Yay! Violin Viola Masterclass says, amen. Michelle, oh, blessings. Michelle says, love to you, Bob. Can't wait to our reading tomorrow. Thank you, Michelle. I'm looking forward to sitting down for your private reading. Just so you guys know, if you want to buy a private reading, you can purchase that also at my website. It's a 1-hour psychic reading. And go over there. There's PayPal buttons, all automated. It will notify me, and then I'll contact you. And we'll get you on the schedule for a private session. Okay? I am very busy because it's Halloween season, but we'll find a way to get you in, okay? So do contact me. Give me a call, 703-825-3929. I am a little backlogged on calls, so if you've been waiting to hear from me, I will get to you. I'm just going through, I've got in about 100 calls in the last 2 days, so I'm a little backlogged, but I will get to you. You can also just go ahead and buy a reading at my website, or you can also purchase the Psychic Development class at my website. It's only $30 for a 2-hour class. It's live, held on Zoom on Saturday mornings, 12 o'clock every Saturday. As I said, this Saturday I'm teaching a class on how to communicate with angels. I do charge for that class because, well, one, Psychic Bob's got to live, right? It's my full-time work as a psychic. But also, it's professional level training. Many people in the class are going to go on and be professional psychics. And so I'm giving very high quality training. I'm limiting the class size to 30 people so that I can work with everybody. It'll be held on Zoom, and you don't have to know how to use Zoom. I will send out a link to your email when you register. I'll capture your email. If you have a different email than the one on PayPal, let me know that because I'm going to use the PayPal one to contact you by. Okay? And then on Saturday morning, we have a class at 12 noon Eastern. About 11:30, half hour before, I will send the Zoom link to your email that you want me to send it to. And then you just click the link and it brings you right into the classroom and you'll see all of us there. So I would love to have you join our class. We have a lot of fun. We have a great group. We have a lot of regulars now, and that's a lot of fun. And they're learning and growing so much. So why don't you join us? You don't have to have previous experience. I know some people have said, well, Bob, I would join the psychic class, but I really have never done it and I feel embarrassed. I start every class assuming that nobody knows anything, and we build from there. So you don't have to have previous experience, So I hope that you'll come. Violin Viola Masterclass, who's here in chat today, she's in our class every week, and she gives us the wonderful gift of playing beautiful music. She plays her harp music and violin for us, and it's just lovely. So, while you're waiting to get ready for class and getting your notebook ready, you can have Amber's beautiful music until I get there. So we'd love to have you come join our Saturday class. Like I said, this week we're talking on how to talk with angels. So you guys are rocking. I love you. PsychicBob's got to get off here. I've got a full day of readings and work to do. But listen, connect with me. Thank you for being here. And we will talk to you tomorrow. We're going to try to go out at, I'm going to try to go out early again, 10 a.m. It may end up being 12, actually. Well, I think it'll have to be 10 because I think I'm readings at 12. So we're going to say 10 a.m. for a live stream broadcast. I'm going to try to go outdoors for Vlog Thursday. We'll see how that works. You guys rock. Tell me in the comments below, do you like these live streams? Do you like it? Do you prefer it? How's the quality of the picture and the sound? Let me know. You know, I want to hear from all of you. And I hope that you'll join us every day. So, except for, I should clarify, Tuesdays, we're going to keep the broadcast at 12 o'clock noon. Okay, for messages from this room. Because everybody said they can't do 10, so we'll do 12 o'clock on Tuesdays. On Sunday, we're still doing our live show at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Because everybody said they want to keep that time. So the messages videos will still be at the same times. Okay, so, but every other day, we're going to try to do 10 a.m. to get the video early so you guys can be here and go on with your day. I love all of you. Thank you so much. May all of you keep it here at Spirit Channel. And please, may you all always blessed be. Oh, don't forget you can buy t-shirts in the box, in the store below the video. You guys are. Love you all. See you back here tomorrow for Vlog Thursday. Blessings to all of you.